Hello, here are the twins. My name is Catherine.
And my name is Daniela. Our channel is all about spiritual miracles and about out-of-body experience or a near-death experience.
We really hope you enjoy our channel and we welcome a very special guest today. And if you like our channel,
can you please do us a favor and hit that like and subscribe button for more amazing videos.
Thank you.
There's so many, it's like a very vast topic. So I would say that I did not have an interest. A long time ago when I was 5 years old, I asked my grandmother what was behind the veil, because when you're a shaman in the Hmong culture, you have like this cap or veil that goes over your eyes, right? Or your face. And I asked her a long time ago, what was behind there? And then she said, oh, flowers. And that's all she said. And then she also mentioned later, I said, it can't be. She told me to put it on, and I put on the veil. And I said, I see nothing, Grandma. It's black, because it was a black veil. She was a black veil shaman. And then after that, she said, well, I really see it like a computer, like a screen, like I look into like a TV or computer screen. And that's how I see things there when I go into a trance. And I said, oh, I hope one day I can see. But that was at 5 years old. And when I grew older, I not rejected, but I'll say rebelled my mother and father in regards to doing anything shamanic, because there was, sacrifices of animals like, chickens and pigs and goats, stuff like that. And for the rituals, and I said, I don't think I want to do that when I grow older, if I ever need to, become a shaman or be in the culture like this, because I felt inside that I wasn't going to be, accepted in society in America. And that's why I was rebelling this type of idea. But for me, I didn't say I want to choose to be a shaman or I want to choose to be a healer. It just came to me like so. For example, like a calling. I want to say that when I was about 2 years old, I had a experience. It was a phenomenal experience in my bedroom, in the ceiling of my bedroom, and there was a huge apparition of an angel that came in. She didn't have wings I'll say that she had wings, but it was sort of behind her. And then suddenly she didn't have wings anymore. So she was just human looking with her hair flowing, but I didn't see that she was here, on the ground. She was in the ceiling, floating, air floating. And then after that whole phenomenon that happened to me, I began to have very psychic abilities, though I didn't know. I just thought it was normal or natural. So I began to have these abilities, and all the way up until I was about 28 years old, that is when I began to become a shaman, after I had gone through a traumatic event in my life. So going through also shamanic illnesses from the young age, illnesses like headaches or migraines or stomach pain, that even if we go to the doctor, because this is after some healings that went through, a few healings from just my parents, not like a shaman yet, then we go to the doctor and they said, there's nothing wrong, just give her some medicine, Western medicine, and she will be fine. After taking the medicine, I'm still not okay. I still have the stomach pain. And then it lasts for a while. And then we get my grandmother, that she was already a full shaman at that time. And she comes and she does her healing ritual. My mother, she was still yet to become a shaman. But she wasn't a full-fledged shaman yet. But she was doing some healings as well. And through the different healings of mother, father, and grandmother, then I get better. And every time that happens, then there's a little, a cycle that goes through, and they know exactly what to do the next time, and we just keep doing that. And then every time they do that, I also start to feel after a certain period of time. I start to feel, oh, this is how I see things. And then it starts to come to me and healing my body as well, healing myself as they're also doing their shamanic rituals on me. So, so both sides of my family have shamans. It's originated from shaman, really chosen to become shaman. And if someone has the feeling like I'm drawn to become one, I feel like I need to do this, I feel like I'm drawn to it, then sometimes they get acquired to become shamans. So after they were born, because they go through so many traumas, so many karmic things in their life that they so need to be a shaman to heal themselves because nobody else can help them that much. Does that make sense? Past life regression, meaning that I don't think it's good or bad. Okay, so I think it's more like if the person is in need truly to figure out in their life who they were, what they did, so that they can now have a peace of mind in this lifetime, then it's good for them to know. And they should know because they need this vision or this a viewpoint, perception. Past life regression, meaning that I don't think it's good or bad. Okay, so I think it's more like if the person is in need truly to figure out in their life who they were, what they did, so that they can now have a peace of mind in this lifetime, then it's good for them to know. And they should know because they need this vision or this a viewpoint, perception of themselves because they feel like something's missing. It is also not good if they just want to be curious to know who was I, what did I do, and then what do they do with the information, right? Maybe nothing. Maybe they start to be more curious, but curiosity sometimes isn't good if the person isn't really vibrationally ready, right? So I cannot say it's good or bad thing, and but I do say that it is sometimes very necessary to visit the past lives due to trauma or karma that may need to be released in this lifetime. So for your sister, depending on which kind of shamanic healer and what does she truly want. So what is her desire in trying to reach out to the shamanic healer, right? Now she can go to any healer in the world. It doesn't have to be shamanic, right? But does she feel like this person, whoever it is, can help see the way for her, can help dig into her past lives to see if there is karma or trauma that had put the blockage between her and her relationship area. This can be relationship area for her, that she cannot find like a soulmate or twin flame or somebody that she can have a companion with, right? But then she feels like a longing for them, right? And it just, anybody that crosses her path, it just doesn't fit with her and or connect with her. So must be that if she does like this past life hypnosis, or we call it past life regression in the shamanic sense, past life regression to seek what is the answer in the past life, and that's why we do look at the past life, or is the answer is, and when we look at past life, I'll answer that yet. When we look at past life, we look at the soul. So what has happened with her soul? What kind of trauma did the soul go through in order to face what she's facing now? What kind of karma, if it is karma with the soul, and how long ago, which past life specifically did that happen in, right? So we take a look at that, and not all shaman healers can do this, right? Just like if you are a holistic doctor and you are like a nutritionist, you only focus on foods or nutrition or health, but you're not like every shaman is going to be not equal, not made equally. So she must feel this deep connection, like, oh, I feel intuitively like this person can help me. Then sometimes when she go ask, maybe they do have the resources, whether it's spiritual or physical or energetic resources to help her see the way, right? But specifically for Katrina, I would say that she longs to seek for a shaman because she feels deep inside that a shaman can help her to figure this piece out. And maybe everything else she can see and figure and piece together, except for the one relationship piece. Is that true? Yes. If you are here on earth, we look as a shaman, we look at the soul like this. If you're here on earth and you're still within your body and your body's still functioning, no matter what, you're still breathing, your soul is still here. Now, sometime is not here fully, so only partially, right? Depending on what percentage, that's how I look at it. Not every shaman will look at it like how I look at it, but I was taught by my spirit because I was schooled by spirit when I became a shaman. I did not have a sifu or did not choose to have a sifu or teacher. I chose to learn it from the spirits. And the spirits' teaching is the soul is only one soul in one body, not 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, with a human, it's different from like a cat or dog, right? So each soul is different. But when we take a look at the past life, we took a look at your soul. And it may be different from the hypnosis or the regression, right? Is it maybe said differently or done differently by each different healer, right? Each person is going to do regression or soul, past life regression or hypnosis differently. So with me, how I do is I take a look at the soul and I do the reading of the soul. I also may jump in and do a half trance. So I'm in a deeper how do I say, reading than just like a intuitive reading, right? So I go into a half trance and then we do channeling or gain information from the blueprints. They call it the Akashic record, but basically it's the universal library, right? Of each soul, where they were, what they did. And we hone in on how this soul, where did this soul come from? How many lives did they have? How many pieces, fragments did they have? And then which lifetime was it? After doing this, then I do what I call a karma or trauma release or cord cutting. And we must do the cord cutting in order for them to move forward to the next phase of their life here on earth, right? So that each time there is a cord cutting, it doesn't mean that one cord cutting cuts everything, but it does mean that one cord cutting helps them to move on to the next phase of their life. And then the next phase comes, and the next phase comes, and maybe there's another cord cutting that they may have to do, or another trauma release that has to be done. So all these is an ongoing healing that they must do in order to get to, when they get to 120 years old, then they pass on, they move on, and they transition. Then they will then feel the essence, and their soul will feel like it's released a ton of things that's maybe from the past life that wasn't released. So for your sister, and the name is very important in the shamanic world too. Yeah, the name is very important as a baby to adulthood, and then from like I say like after like 3 children in your adulthood, then it's also very important for your older age as well. So your name is a very important identification on the spiritual sense as well. So even in hypnosis, there's some unblocking going on in the back end, but at the same time, the person's soul is relearning all this, and you are also relearning all this and in the new soul, the new spirit of the soul that you are in this lifetime, right? But the old soul in you knows, okay, yes, we know. But the new part of you is like, oh, this is so interesting. I didn't know this. And you start to relearning this past. And you sit with this relearn. But what do you do in the next phase, right? How do you transpire or transition into your next phase in life with this new information? Because as you learn all this in the past, you're also going through this lifetime, the present life too. So now this also caused like a extra layer of trauma that you now must release, right? So it can get so complicated, but yet it can be so simple. So many different clients. So I go from client that has like a mental issue or mental illness. For example, like schizophrenia type, if that's a scientific naming or identification. But for us in the shamanic world, I call it more like there is an issue with their energetic vibration. And then, so there's that type of client with mental illnesses or emotional trauma issues. And then there's also the clients that has the physical body issues where they have cancer or they pre-cancer, or for example, they have like skin issue. I was just dealing with some gal more recently that had a rare skin disease. I forgot what the scientific medical name was, but is a rare skin disease that comes and goes, that's very chronic to her body and causes her not to be able to eat certain foods. And then I also have another gal that has, they cannot eat only but two things, rice and chicken. And she eats anything else, then she's going to either throw up or go to the bathroom. So we worked with her. I worked with her for about 8 weeks. And we got it panned out. And the first week after I worked with her, she was able to eat 2 to 3 more foods that she wasn't, so she ate more foods, was able to digest. And it started to add on more and more and more after we go through second, third week, and fourth week and on. So she was very happy for that. But so there's that type of client. And then other clients, I've worked with clients that had COVID before, several COVID clients. Some were very, very different levels, so very chronic, some were very critical, and then some were very like just slightly have or pre-COVID. So there's so much to name for these type of clients. Clients that have children that has ADHD. As well, and clients themselves that has ADHD. So different scientific names, but in the shamanic world, we call it as imbalances to the body. Any clients that has imbalances to the body, whether it's mental, physical, social, behavioral, emotional, and bodily, and it starts to affect their physical body, then we work with all those kinds all over the board. But I say the most and main clients that come to me are the ones that have the trauma, okay, the emotional trauma that then yet affects their physical body. Those are the most. Yes, they do. They come back and I ask them to do review, and some of them they just do review on their own because they're so amazed, what happened, because some of them they never experienced it before, like their first time only, and some of them they say, oh, I've gone to this healer, that healer, and you're the my last hope, like this. So some are new to the whole holistic healing. Some they've gone through everybody else and different kind, and they come to me at the last moment. I always see myself as the last resort for people, because they go to doctor, they go to different healers, and then they end up seeing, oh, I see your face on YouTube, I see you're on TikTok, I see you're on Facebook, and then I figure I should come to you because I've gone to this person, that person, they weren't able to help me. I've had one time, like there's a story I'm going to share. One time there was a man that was, I think he was seeking his path for 32 years. And he even went to live in the Wat, the Buddha Wat, for 2 years of his life. And after that, 5 years later, he's still seeking his journey. And then he comes to me one day and he saw me, I think it was Expo, or he searched me up on Google, one of the two. And this was a long time ago, maybe like 2012. And he came to my office when I had that physical office, and he said, I searched everywhere and you are my last hope. If you cannot help me, then I will not know where to go after this. So we only did one session. It was about an hour and a half session. And after that one session, I didn't know this until he told me after the session. So after the session, he said, do you know that I've been searching for 32 years, but you had figured it out in only 1 hour with you? And I said, I am amazed by myself. I don't know. I didn't know what I did, but I was able to do. And now you tell me this after all this time, right? So, and then I learned from him after the 1 hour session that he was searching and he could not find. But after that, he was very at peace, and he gave me a review. I think it's on my website on this one, not on Facebook, but he gave me a review, and I was just amazed at his results. And after that, he took, I think he was a very musical guy, so he utilized piano to help people with grief. One of my very first client when I became public in 2011, my very first client, she was a horse lover, okay? And she was very in love with her horse that she had, and horses in general, but one specific horse. And this was the first case that I've ever taken publicly, right, as a business, when I opened Faliti Healing. So come to find that when we did the diagnosis for her, I come to find that her horse was actually her, in a different lifetime, her horse was actually her partner, her husband. And I said, this is very strange. I've never come upon this before because I've never read into people with animals yet. That was the very first time. And I said, this is very strange, but your horse was actually your husband in the 3rd lifetime ago, 3 lifetimes ago, specifically. And he has come back in this lifetime as a horse. But that's why you're very in love with him. You can't let him go because he is and was your ex-husband in a different lifetime. And she was like crying when I told her this. And she started crying so much and so long, and I had to basically clear her energy and everything, and until she was able to just calm down. And I gave her so much information in regards to the horse and her, and then her lifetime in the 3rd lifetime. And after that, she ended up opening her own place to do healing with, is it equine or canine or something, horse healings with people. So that she can have her little ranch with the horses, and that she'll be with horses all her life, this lifetime. And I said, great, that's what you really need, because you really didn't end that lifetime well with your husband. So it's like a closure in this lifetime. So very interesting. I have done one with a cat, a gal that has cats. And she found these cats, and they're stray cats. And she found it on the street, right? And she said, but I don't know why I love the cat so much. Like, I just feel like it's like, someone or something that I just can't let go. And I said, okay, so we did the reading, right? But she didn't tell me this before. She told me this after. So when people come to me, I don't have them talk too much. I just go straight to the reading. I says, just let me do, and I will see what is to come. So when she came, I just went to take a look, and then at the end, she's like, I love the cat so much, right? So I find out that the cats that she finds is actually her brother and sisters, okay, in a sibling in the European, I believe it was Ireland for her at that time, in the different lifetime. I think it was the 4th lifetime ago. And I see the bricks in my vision, like the stone streets, And the children, there's like three siblings that she had, and her, so four children, and they're on the streets of like Ireland area. And I say it's like Ireland. I feel like it's Ireland. I feel you're left and you're abandoned, or mother, father passed, and then you were abandoned by uncles and aunts. And there's four of you. And this lifetime, you find these cats on the streets again, but you're okay, and you are the stronger one of your siblings. And so now you find your brother and sisters back. In this lifetime, you find them back because they were so lost, and they also passed on lost. So if they passed on lost, they didn't get to end their life in a way where it was a closure, like it was good, right? So now they've come back as cats because they don't wish to become children anymore. But now you find them in this lifetime, and you are meant to take care of your siblings from a different lifetime, and they feel so loving to you because they were your siblings. And she started crying so bad too at that point. So yes, I definitely do believe that the soul it can transcend or transmute and go into different types of animals as well as humans. I would say like 97% or 99% of the time between that, I do it all myself. I work on my own. If there's a need for me, then I work on myself, and because I know what's wrong already, I go and do it. The only time I don't is if something is very, very heavy. And I will go to like when my mother was alive, I would go to her. But now I go to her in spirit. So then I don't really reach out to anybody other than my own self and my own spirit guides to help me on my own problems, right? Or my own issue if it happens like that. Because now I'm at a certain level that I'm able to do that. But I will say that at the beginning, I still went to my mother for a few things. She's a master shaman as well, or a grandmaster. And I went to her for a few things. But then other than that, it was very, like I say, once in a couple years. But now I am at a certain level that I'm able to do it on my own. Clients are through the social media now. Yes, so I do clients that way. So it used to be that I take them at my office. I had a physical office, but then my office, I stopped doing that. And there was also, my office actually got vandalized. So somebody may have been super, I don't know, jealous or envious or something, and they come and they vandalize my office. Very bad situation. I walk in there with my client and my office is ruined, right? But even so, before that, I was thinking about moving out of my office because most of the people were coming through phone at that time and like Skype, when we had Skype. And then we started having Zoom, right? So this is like 2016, 15. I was already thinking about going more online. And then 2017, my office got vandalized. I believe the vandalization was from very close people that I knew or knew me, right? So then I end up saying, okay, well, maybe this is the perfect time. I look at the positive, right? Well, maybe this is the perfect time for me to do what I was thinking to do for the last 2-3 years, to go fully online. So then that's when I went onto Zoom in 2017. So by phone, by Zoom, anything. Maybe it's not just the people. So maybe not just the person in front of me or on voice, but let's say like the person can say, oh, can you look into my husband, or can you look into my child? Because they are sick, or something happened to them, or they keep seeing ghosts, or they keep having these paranormal activity. Then I say, okay, sure, what is the name? And then I just look into them. So not even need for birthdays or anything like that, just one name. Sometimes I don't even need name. If they see, now there will be times when I go out to expositions and I see people face to face. That's even better for them. For me, it's the same. If we're working on the energy, I will for themselves to have a better experience for themselves. Then yes, I say go close your eyes and open up your palms, because for opening up your palms, I always teach that opening up palms means you're ready to receive. So that's how I was taught by my spirit guides. So I say for them to have a good experience, then they can do that. But they don't have to do it for me, right? They can just sit there with open eyes. And some people do. They don't choose to close their eyes. But it's only if they want to experience something, then I tell them, do you want to close your eyes? And they will. But that is for their experience. That is if I'm working on energy. If I'm just doing reading, then I just stand or sit and then open up a regular deck of cards like this type of card, Yeah, so just regular deck of cards like these, and I open them, and then we do the reading that way. The cards to help, like a tool, but otherwise then I just reading like here, like if you're talking about Katrin, then we can do reading on Katrin, so like that. A session it varies from person to person, but right now I just put out more recently I put out a standard price. I used to be very up and down because each person, some people may have so much to work on or so much to read, and some people might have a little bit to read or a little bit to work on. So the vibration is so various. I cannot put one price. But now I just decide I'm just going to put a standard price out there. So the prices are out on my website if anybody is interested to, take a look and see what they want to do. Because with my readings, I don't just do like psychic reading, like normal psychic reading. I do psychic reading and also healing within that one session. So when I do channeling, I do move. If you want, I could do a channeling here to give how do I say like a message, a example, but it's a true message, a real one, a real demo, so that you can kind of see what I mean. And I will channel in whatever that needs to be known right now. Either you want it. I usually put on my thinking cap. And so typically they would put it on the front, but because I'm talking to you and I want to be respectful directly here, then I don't put it in my face. But if I'm facing my altar back there, then I would put it on my face and I go into a half trance, okay? But this one, I'm able to do this per the approval of my spirit guides. I'm able to do this. Not everybody is able to do. Okay, so Katrin, right? Okay, without an H. I'm going to grab a candle before I do this, just to get some energy in. So a demo, but a real message. Okay. Katrin Sadranansa. In the deepest part of your soul, dear Katrin, your heart has been torn about 7 pieces. So if you are looking, you cannot see. If you are seeking, you will not find. Your heart has not yet been healed. Allow yourself to disconnect from the piece of your soul that had been ruined and undefined. though you say, I won't let it hurt me, it still does. The healing is deep. Don't let the tears define who you were, because you are yet to be. You must be willing to connect to who you are meant to be, and you will meet who you are meant to love. And that's what I have for Katrin saying that. It's because you and Katrin are so connected that there's no way you will not feel it. Warm blessings to you and Katrin. Yes. Yes. Bye-bye.
We hope you liked our video.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.